Hi, Corella again. We're still talking about articles because they're important. And each time I look at the cards that I made and I said, well, I can skip this and I can skip this and I can skip this, there's some that I see that I can't skip. So let's get to it. This is about the 7th video on articles, right? But they're important, especially for English speakers. They're very important because maybe in French and in Italian and in Portuguese, you see much more similarities. In English, not so much. Okay, so here we go. Two nouns joined by the preposition de to form a compound noun. The second noun is not modified by a definite article. And if the second noun is modified by an article, then that means that that entity or those groups of words are not compound nouns. Let's just look at some differences here. You can say la noche de la fiesta. Noche de la fiesta is not a compound noun. All it means is the night of the party. So it's not a compound noun. But if you say la noche de fiesta, and no la, just la noche de fiesta, that's a compound noun. And you would translate it differently, right? It means party night. And party night is a compound noun. Okay. La carne de la vaca. La carne de la vaca is not a compound noun. It just means the meat from the cow. So it is the meat from the cow. Well, if you say la carne de vaca, compound noun, beef. Well, in English, it's not a compound noun. It's just, it becomes one word, beef. Okay. Los sombreros de las mujeres. You know, the hats of the women. Right? The hats of the women. But if you say los sombreros de mujeres, now that's a compound noun, and you're talking about women's hats. Interesting. You put the de, right? And each noun stands on its own, on its nose, on its own. You take the de out, and even when you translate it, it's translated differently. Very interesting. That's why I love getting into the weeds of a language, because these are the nuances that many near native speakers or near fluent speakers don't know. And that's why they're constantly being called near versus he's fluent or she's fluent. Okay, let's see how the article changes how the word haber, H-A-B-E-R, H-A-B, chic, B grande, A-R, is understood. Haber, when you do not put the article, it means there is and there are. So, no hay tortillas, no hay pan, hay agua, hay muchas personas acá. Right? So, when you do not put the article, I, which comes from the verb haber, means there is and there are. Right? When you do not put the article, when you do not put the article. So no hay tortillas, no hay pan, no hay agua, no hay libros. No hay vida. Okay. However, when you do put the article, when you put the definite article, I have definite agua here. I mean article. When you put the definite article, that should be article, then it means to exist. Existir, to exist. Now, hay la posibilidad de. There's the possibility of doing this or saying this. So let me repeat again, because I think sometimes I say there, you don't put it when you're supposed to put it and stuff like that. So let me just be sure. Let me look at the board. Let me be sure. So I can tell you, I'm telling you correctly. Haber, no definite article. It means there is and there are. No hay tortillas, hay agua, hay pan, hay azúcar, hay libros, hay luz. So, No article, there is, there are. When the verb haber contains the article, it does not mean there is and there are. It means existir, to exist. Hay la posibilidad de. Okay. Now, let's look at definite articles used before certain nouns. Now, the definite article is used after names of unique entities. I'm going to bring my computer over here and let me read for you. The definite article is used with mountains, montañas, volcanoes, the word heaven, the word hell, and other things which are considered unique. El diablo, el cielo, la virgen. Right? There's only one Virgin Mary, there's only one heaven, and I do wish there were only one devil. That I don't agree with. There are many devils, but let's just leave that alone. Okay, now, no articles are used after. So I'm going to give you the verbs that you do not use an article. The definite article is not used after the verb, after the following words, right? It's not used after en, or saber, or aprender, or hablar. It's optional. It's optional to use the definite article after entender, escribir, and estudiar. We're especially talking about when you're talking about language. So, hablo alemán. No hablo el alemán. Entiendo. Now you can say entiendo el inglés or entiendo inglés, because after the verb entender is optional. Sé inglés, right? Escribo el alemán o escribo alemán, right? Hablo alemán. Aprendes francés. No article. So let me read that again, because I don't think I did a very good job with it. So let me read it again. And we're talking about language. Okay. The definite article is required not to be used after en. Hablo en inglés, no hablo en el inglés. Saber, aprender, and hablar. No article when we're talking about language. Now, it's optional, so don't use it. So you just won't get yourself upset and mixed up. It is optional after entender, escribir, y estudiar. I shouldn't say don't use it. When you go abroad and you live in a country, you're going to see how they use it. And just follow the lead. Lo puedes hacer en español. Hablo alemán. Entiendo el inglés o entiendo inglés. Sé chino. Ojalá. No escribo el alemán o no escribo alemán. Y aprendes francés. I think I would have a little bit more time. I was just looking. And maybe I can give you a couple more pointers. With the exception of en, because we just said no article. And with the special uses of they, because they have several meanings. The definite article is used after prepositions. So, when we're talking about en, and in certain circumstances with they, the article is used after preposition. For example, con, which is the preposition, la otra gente, bajo el sol. Give you one more that I can sneak in here. Okay, so when we're talking about they, let's look at they in detail, a little bit of detail. When the preposition they means from, like all prepositions, the article is used. So when they means from, then you use the article. Salir de la casa, un poema del latín, lavar las manos, excuse me. Then I give you other examples with other prepositions. Looked at my card here. I think I'm going to have to change this card. Okay, so when the preposition they means from. Salir de la casa, un poema del latín, then yes, you use the article. But when de means of, the article is used only if referring to the language in general or in its entirety. Las dificultades del inglés o las sutilezas del japonés. So we're talking about English in general and Japanese in general. La clase de, no del. De inglés, because we're only talking about English in that class. So, la clase de inglés o el curso de chino o el libro de español. Once again, when de means of, the article is used only if referring to the language in general or in its entirety. I think we still need to do one more video. We'll see. Okay, thank you once again and have a good day. Bye.